Now I'd like to introduce Alison Winch, who's returning to us. I've met her, I think, at the launch of the South Bank Poetry magazine, which has been published in, I think, on at least a couple of occasions, and also in Rialto. So I'd like you to give a big Dodo Modern Poets welcome for the return of Alison.
I'm quite into Don't Tell the Bride, so this poem has been inspired from that programme. And I was thinking about what was happening if Medea was my wedding planner. So Medea is the woman who was married to Jason. Jason left Medea to be with Glauca. Medea made Glauca a wedding dress that was made of poison. The one. We meet in Zara on Longacre. When we hug, her fur collar smells of rain in a capital city. Medea is my wedding planner. Then confetti's embossed with my face, and she's iced 5 layers of raspberry cupcakes. She's a lifesaver. She juices beetroot to reduce bloat and buttocks my crow's feet. When I saw it, I knew it was the one. Bespoke with a bateau neckline and capped sleeves, the beaded accent of its bodice, the clinched waist, A-line skirt, and, oh, the lace of its chapel train. Today she fits my feet for new shoes. They're chopped in the changing room's 3-way mirrors, rump, neck, shoulder, faces. So staying with the theme of dead people, this one's about Byron, wedlock. When I introduced the marriage counsellor, your eyes rolled. He doesn't know shit. But Byron's revised his opinion since the Equal Pay Act of 1963. You relented, and we liaised with him twice a week in his Mayfair club. Mostly he wears an Albanian costume and has the bear in to dance. But Byron gets me. He's cool with the cross-dress snogging and the spread eagle and breaking cantaloupes in Lesbos. He proselytises on marble palaces of sherbet and sodomy. Unlearn the sermons, he sodomizes. Sermonizes. Nothing I can say to read that. And when it comes to sex, be driven between thighs of truth and beauty. Exactly what I've been saying. Alright, this next poem was commissioned as part of a project on surnames. And so everyone was writing poems on their surnames. My surname's Winch. And winch means, the winch is in the machine to haul things up, but it also means, in Scots, apparently to get off with somebody. And this double sense is in this poem. A winch meditation. Cross-legged in a row of pillows, I'm straight-spined as the dawn meditation strains to winch me out of myself. The sky is milk, the air cold, as the whole aligns in discipline and the marble shuffles the silence. This breath is a greased machine of Vipassana as it inhales, exhales from belly to throat and back again, as it hoists me from the waste of wench flesh and cranky nights of winching. At 6 a.m, my legs are numb as I'm hauled from the tedium of a winch mind. Tripe peas, fighting bracelets, the saint's feet warmed by otters. So, when the gong chimes, I'm swinging free, pure, clean, and winched by God. Self-explanatory, it's called Russell Square. I lie in a green incubator, disinfecting my soul with chlorophyll. I've been scavenging at the backside of these yellow lines in the city's tubes for too many lives. The sun is ignoring me, but the sky is mine. Yellow roses, ash trees, sycamores are mine, and nectarine stones, pear cores. I've been in repose since the scraggy dawn handed herself in to the summer solstice. It's Tuesday. and I've surrendered my 9 a.m. I'm incensed by pregnancies and mortgaged friends. This is all I have. My soul is not a bird. It is sluttishly coupled to this body, its chins, verrucas. I breathe London's collapsing lung, its green thoughts. This next poem is about a relationship going wrong. And I was inspired by this coconut seller who was selling us coconuts in India, and the way that she was cutting this coconut was really beautiful. And it's called Coconut Seller. She cups our relationship in her palm, elbow crooked against the rooks of her hips, and swings. The black blade slams the green husk, bits fly. Again the sickle rises, hacks the inner stone and crown till the hole gapes. She pokes it with a straw, wipes her fingers on folds of an old sari. Later she chucks our relationship on a large stone, spikes it with her knife, lifts and smashes it in exact halves. Broken in two, we scoop out the albuminous meat. So these last two poems about the same relationship that I had with it was with a gambler, so we spent a lot of time in Ladbrokes. And this poem is based on a short story by Baudelaire, and it's called MyGenerous Host. He bids me follow him into a subterranean dwelling of astonishing luxury, Ladbrokes. I smell of climes, my eyes are sunset and aurora. We spend an eternal afternoon as if on an island melodious cascades. If I had a spouse and household, I would forget them. We perch on stools as lovers, copious libations cut through with roll-ups on green lanes. I gain and waste my soul with heroic carelessness. Dogs, horses, European tournaments. An invisible thing, soul, troublesome. It's like losing someone else's worry. And finally, this poem is called Eastport. We're the youngest guests at the Queen's Hotel, and you're 42. It's the summer solstice, and we're breaking up, except we're making love on the 5th floor in an evening light as yoky as an afternoon. The sexy doom of the split is like falling in love and a stay of execution. Everything's alive. Whelks, donuts, the soupy fumblings of the sea. Just a day trip to Seven Sisters, you said, without the bookies. You clocked with nostalgia for our first months, Sharbing in Tottenham, Ladbrokes, William Hill, Paddy Power. The wind touches us up as we tussle in the purple gorse, the beam of the Newgard-bitten cliffs and Eastbourne, ballroom dancing, plastic bedsheets, eggnog. Women whose hearts are clamped on their faces, hard as wedding bands. Driving home that's no longer ours, we stop at Pease Cottage Services. A piece of the universe that love forgot, you despair. I hug my knees by the window at 3 a.m. Remember the sea heaving the pier's stilted limb. Thank you.
Wonderful set from Alison, and I love the soupy fumblings of the sea. What a great line. And you don't often hear a paean to Eastport, do you? I've got a poem about Bognor Regis, which I'll save for another time, but great to be on the south coast. So more applause please for Alison Winch. She'll be back in the second half. And the man I was going to introduce next has just left the room. But we'll just whistle and talk amongst ourselves. I can tell you about Richard, who's coming on next. Richard Tyrone Jones, a poet so good he's got 3 names, and he runs a regular spoken word night called Utter, or rather it's irregular because it's not always at the same venue or the same place, but that's been going for nearly 10 years. Do come in.